Hey, g'day.
G'day, g'day.
It's been a while. Well, we've got some interesting news, haven't we?
We do. And hello, everyone.
And hello, everybody. But we've got some really interesting news. Looks like we've made a bit of a decision about our future and the van.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to move on from our really loved Zone base. But we'll share all that in a minute.
Yep.
I've always wanted to do that. So we'll come right back to that.
G'day, we're David and Paula. After 40 years, we took a gap year from work, bought a van and did a lap right around Australia. And it was life-changing. So now we're trying to rebalance life, work, the van travel in Australia that we love, and still ticking off some overseas bucket list items.
We're sorry about the fact that there's been a bit of a gap, but you all know that we're not professional full-time content creators or YouTubers. 100% of our ad revenue does go to charity.
Yep.
And just on that, please like, subscribe, share, do all of those sorts of things. And just a reminder, we've all just come back to the year's moving on so fast.
I know.
It's February.
It's February already.
Yeah. But we've February at the time of this video.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at this sometime in a couple of years, it probably makes no sense at all. But in any case, I think just a reminder that holiday period that we've all just come back to work from and all those sorts of things, that's an important time for the people who get the benefit from Legacy, who's one of our charities. That's actually quite a stressful period of time for the people who are sort of carrying some injuries and some wounds and the families who've got to deal with all those sorts of things, or they've got to deal with loss, right? So it's a really tough time. So keep watching this video, and then we've got something a little bit interesting or fun at the end that you can help us with that you might enjoy as well. That'll help us raise a little bit of money without costing you anything, just your time. And of course, for all of you who are striking out into the bush and in your off-road adventures and all those sorts of things, RFDS, because they're really important, not just for the people who are temporarily using that area, but there are people who live out there, all the time.
Yeah.
So like, subscribe, and let's raise some money for charity. But where have we been? Look, it's been a little bit of time, and I know that I promised you that I was going to do a couple of vids on our process for how to choose a caravan, how we chose a caravan, and how we plan for the lap from scratch.
Yep.
And we'd always sort of said we weren't necessarily going to do that sort of video, but people kept asking and asking and asking, so we promised that we'd do it. And unfortunately, some things got in the way, didn't it?
Yeah, you've been really sick.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I just not long before Christmas, just before the video that you've seen, and if you didn't see the video at Tiwa Beach, not long before that, I got a really bad dose of COVID, didn't I? Really knocked me about. It completely has knocked the system about, and it lasted a fair bit. And that video was really the first outing back out into the real world for us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we won't dwell on that. All right. So there's that. I also had some people that I'd done some work with in the past approach me and actually asked if I could come along and help out with some stuff at the moment. And again, I won't bore you with that, and we're much more interested in what we do out on the adventures. Yeah. But all of that intervened, life intervened, so sorry for that delay. Yep. But as you know, we're not full-time YouTubers. That brings us to the purpose of the video, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you know that we'd been talking about whether we wanted to replace the Zone base van for all sorts of reasons, whether we're just going to sell it, move on, do other things. I think we decided that we liked the van life, so we were going to keep it. You know, we were going to keep doing that sort of stuff, but we went looking for something which more suited our form of travel. And,
we did.
And we were looking for...
We've been looking for a while.
Yeah, we did, yeah, and we've shared a little bit of that, but we looked at 3 or 4, maybe 5, but 3 or 4 or 5 other really class options. Yep. We thought. We went back to Zone and kept looking at the Expedition, right? Great van, right? And there's a lot of people who are really happy, with the Expedition, and they like the pop top, and that has some real advantages. But we looked at it and thought we don't want the pop top. So the concept was great. We actually understood why other people loved the Expedition. It just didn't fit what we needed. So we went and looked at a few other brands, and we're not going to compare them all. We might touch on some stuff, but that would be unfair. All of the people that we dealt with in the other 4 options that we looked at, they dealt with us really professionally, really well, and they were all really good vans, weren't they? So I think it's really unfair as we continue this conversation to pick and choose. What we found, though, is that most of those didn't work for us because we sort of still wanted to tow with the Defender, you know, or a car that we didn't want to do upgrades. We had to make sure that tow ball weight and all the boring stuff, but the essential safety stuff worked. We liked the level of amenity that we had in the base. So what we actually really wanted was all the level of amenity, slightly less weight, right? We wanted it all in a slightly smaller, more compact package that we could get down narrower tracks to get even that little bit further. And to be honest, we couldn't quite find the perfect package for us.
No.
Four other terrific vans, right? And so this is why we're going to be really careful, because anybody who might have one of those vans, they might think that we're putting them down and we're not.
Wasn't it more that we couldn't find anything that wowed us enough to suit our priorities that would justify turning over what we've got now?
Yeah, and all of them were going to cost us extra money, weren't they? And we sort of thought, well, one option was exceptionally expensive, and that probably lets the cat out of the bag. Loved it, but...
Oh, yeah, it was a nice van.
But too expensive. Most of them didn't give us all the things that we wanted, and we were going to have to pay extra money for the benefit.
Yep.
So I think we just about gave up, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We were actually to the point that we were just not going to go further with that prospect. Just keep our little base.
Yeah, we thought we'd made that decision, didn't we? We pretty much thought that we were going to just keep the base. And we'd gone out up to Tiwa. That reminded us that we actually liked going out the base. We thought, all right, we're just going to stick with what we've got. Okay, so went off to Christmas, did all the other things, and then we got a phone call out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a call. It was Tofty, right, from Zone. And he said, do you remember when you came and saw us after your lap? Now, we had a discussion, and you said, if only the Expedition type of van came in a hardtop variant. And I said, yes. And he said, do you remember when you said that if they ever thought about doing that, give us a call?
Yeah, we did. That's exactly what we said.
And so Tofty said, come on up. Can you come up tomorrow? Right, tomorrow. We've got some news. And we and so we raced up to Zone. We're in Brisbane. We raced up to Zone, and he said, well, guess what? I think we're going to do this, right? We think that there's a place in their lineup of vans, and based on some of the feedback that we'd given, that other people had given, we think we're going to do it. And they asked us, would we be interested in coming along on the journey with them? Now, and I've got to jump in here because we're not sponsored, didn't ask to be sponsored, not going to be sponsored, right? We are just really excited that potentially we're in the opportunity to talk about something which really suits us and we hope a range of other people, okay, but without being a content creator or having a sponsorship arrangement. Zone have got their people to do that, right? You know, so we're just like most of you guys, and we just want to enjoy all this. But I think, to be fair, it wasn't just because we'd given them this idea.
No, they were already thinking about it.
They had been, hadn't they? So I think, you know, I hope Tofty doesn't mind me saying this, right? But, you know, anyway, when we went to see them over a year ago, and it was almost a year to the day that we went up to Zone that we'd sat down.
Yeah.
Tofty actually showed us the plan of a van that they'd actually had on the books for some time.
Yeah.
At the development of the Expedition, they'd been thinking about the hardtop van, and for various reasons, right? The technology of the way they wanted to make the build and all those sort of things wasn't quite there to the standard that they believed that it needed to be. And because they were developing the pop top Expedition, they concentrated their effort on the pop top
Yep.
And they've sort of not only perfected, but they've continued to evolve that one. And the feedback that they've had, and the feedback that we've had from people who've got the pop top van has been terrific. I mean, and let's face it. I mean, if you want the lower profile, you can get into even narrower, lower overhanging type places, better fuel economy on the road, all those sorts of things. I understand the appeal of the pop top. We just didn't want the canvas or the pop top, did we?
No, we didn't. I didn't.
Well, I don't think we did. No. Right. So we'd been looking, but now they've actually got, because of the big 3D printer, the big industrial, huge, industrial shed 3D printer, they've got that can actually make moulds to allow them to do even more with the composite. And I can't talk anything more about that. I'll leave that to Tofty and to Dave and the team at Zone to talk about how all that works.
Yeah.
But the short and long for us is that they actually said that now that we've actually got all that technology in place,
there's an opportunity.
There's an opportunity.
Yeah.
And so I wish we could actually show you a picture of it.
We can't yet.
Well, we can't because we haven't even seen a picture of it. So
No.
this is we're actually coming in at the ground floor. So so this today, what we're sharing with you is that this hard top variation, they've got their own name for it, and they'll be making an announcement shortly. So
yeah.
So just letting you in on a little secret. Oh wow, team, just amazing. I was about to press the button to process the video and post it to YouTube, and we didn't have a picture of the new hardtop variant, and the team at Zone have very kindly got us through the picture. So we'll share you a sneak peek. Now, it's the concept picture. There are some changes already underway, and we'd only seen some 3D CAD work prior to this. And we'd had some discussions with the guys about some of this work that they're doing. So this is a concept only. It just gives you a bit of a sneak peek. There's going to be more updates. We'll update you a little bit more, but certainly there'll be formal announcements from Zone as they develop the product. But we're really excited. Glad to show you a sneak peek, and got to thank the Zone team for letting me do that at this stage. But anyway, we'll have a very, very quick look. We're not going to go through it in detail because it is going to change. And we'll keep you updated in future videos. But anyway, we stopped the press, got it in, and sorry this is a little bit rough. I didn't even have time to put another mic on. I just literally shut off the camera. But we're really excited to be part of all that. We're going to be bouncing back and forth to Zone. Their thinking is already quite well developed, so it's not as if they're just relying on our input. They're relying on the input they've got from us and from a whole range of other people and their own experiences. But we think that it's now time to potentially look towards a new van. Yeah. And sadly move on from our Zone base, which is actually just a little bit sad for us. I'm going to go to the Melbourne Caravan show. My cost, right? But I think the Zone guys are going to have some digital images and those sorts of things of the new van.
Yeah, that's what they're planning to do.
As part of all of that. And of course they'll have on show the Peregrine, the Sojourn, and the Expedition. I don't know all the stuff that they're going to have down there. That's a matter for Zone. We're not selling for Zone. No. People just know that we've loved ours, and we're really excited about this new opportunity. So you will be able to come along with us on the journey of the development of that van. Yep. We'll have to respect Zone's process a little bit in all of that, but we're pleased to be part of that process. We've volunteered to be guinea pigs a little bit with the prototype. So when that comes out in the prototype gets developed over a couple of months, it's quite exciting actually, isn't it? We're going to go and throw this thing around out in the bush. We'd said to Tofty and the team that, I think in return for our participation, we'd potentially consider purchasing the prototype and that sort of stuff. And they sort of said, well, no, prototype's prototype. Oh, okay.
We'll see what happens.
And we'll see what happens. Yeah. So really exciting, and we hope we can bring you along in the journey. Yeah. And we've said this time and time again. Some people love being in their camper trailers. Some people love being in a tent, they're troopy. And a lot of people like the luxe living of the larger, fuller sized van. We get that. We liked it too. We just think that this is going to fill a gap that's in the market, and we'll talk about the differences at some stage between that and the other things that are in the market, not because the others were bad, they were actually good, right? They had their own advantages, but we'll just talk about why we sort of like this concept. So that's all we've got to say about that today, but we'll bring you along the journey. So that's enough for that. By all means, sort of send us some comments and those sorts of things. If you are in Victoria and coming to the show, I'll be down there for just a couple of days. The Zone team will be there the whole time, but I'm just excited about that one particular aspect. So if you see us down there, come and say good day, and I'm happy to have a chat, as busy as the other guys will be. Now, the final thing this episode is one of the things while I was sick, Paula reminded me, we used to always do a photo book, didn't we?
Yes.
For all of our trips, and I got a bit behind, and you probably notice I quite like some stills. I quite like the still camera and trying to capture some shots and all of those sorts of things. Throw the odd one into the videos, but we've mostly been videoing our adventures.
Yes.
I have been taking these other photos, and Paula sort of said, well, why don't you
put them in a book?
Hopefully this next bit you enjoy, a little bit of peaceful fun, but I'm just going to do a bit of a reel over this and a couple of other episodes, or maybe even separate by themselves, just with a series of some still photos with a bit of a music background, and a little bit of a personal competition. It's a little bit like doing the crossword in the newspaper. It's really for your own benefit. Have a look, see if you can recognise the places.
Oh, no.
I reckon that most of you will not be able to guess 100%
I probably think I couldn't.
of the places.
We saw an awful lot of places in our travels.
And some of them are wildlife, and I can forgive you for not knowing where they are. But I've tried to put the wildlife ones reasonably close to the landscape ones, so that might help you. So just for your own purpose, why don't you go through, see if you can tell where they are, because these are the places that our vans take us.
Can take us.
This is why we do what we do, to have a look at those sorts of things. So just enjoy it. Bit of music, bit of meditation, with the pictures. If you think you've got 100% of it, throw it in the comments, right? Don't list them all, because that's just too much work. But tell us if you think you got 100%. And on a subsequent vid, maybe just in its own right, I'll publish where they were, what it is, and then you can tell us if you got the 100%. Where you can help us, right? I always value the feedback, so tell us what you think the top 5 photos were that you liked, and tell us any that you don't like. I can take it, all right, and do all it. But anyway, that's just a little bit of enjoyment with the music background, the places your van can take you with the stills, and that helps us put our book together at the same time. If you want to follow along the journey with the new van, all right, like, subscribe, put on the notifications. The other place you can get notification is by joining our Facebook page. We try not to pester you. We're definitely not selling anything to you, but hopefully you get something out of that journey, and we all get to send something off to charity. So look, it's good to be back. Paula's not coming to Melbourne.
I'm going to party.
She's going to party.
I'm partying at home in Brisbane.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed that. Really exciting news. Sad news to be potentially moving on from our base, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of a moment. And we're actually over having a look to see what we're going to do to clean it. It's actually a pretty good nick, wasn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a very good nick.
We're just going to get a little bit of that central Australia desert dust out of the places that we still haven't been able to get it out of. Not inside the van. Not inside the van. Right, the Zone vans don't get dust inside the van. All right, on that note, we'll leave you with it, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to put any comments, any questions, and we'll see you at the next episode.
Catcha.
Cheers.
Again, thanks for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, 100% of our YouTube advertising revenue goes to charity.